Hi, Mike. I am Denise Burns from the Northwest Georgia Republican Assembly. First off, we do want to thank you for agreeing to participate in our candidate interview. We feel discussions like these serve to create a more informed voting electorate, so we can make the best decisions possible to elect the candidates that best represent our values. Also, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are respecting and obeying all CDC guidelines, and we are practicing social distancing. Before we begin, you should know that each candidate for each office has received the exact same number of questions. We ask that you please keep answers to a reasonable time frame, using 2 to 3 minutes for each question. Give the answers that you want to give. There is no right or wrong answer, just your answer. Let's begin. Would you please take a minute and introduce yourself and state the office that you are running for?
My name is Mike Key. I am running for the office of Tax Commissioner of Catoosa County, Georgia.
As Tax Commissioner, would you pledge to post the dozens of homestead exemptions in layman terminology to the county website, at the office, or both?
Yeah, both for sure. I mean, and even probably more. As far as social media and websites, we need to get the word out on the exemptions. That's one thing that a lot of people don't know about as much, and so we want to make sure nobody misses out on anything.
Does the anticipated economic downturn make the recent property tax assessment increase a huge boondoggle, as values will eventually implode?
I'm not seeing that, honestly. The values are based on state guidelines, and I believe that the county's valued pretty close to where it should be at the time. The value probably, I don't see it changing that much, and if your value were to change to an amount that you don't think is reasonable, then that is, you are able to come in and appeal that. It can also go as far as the Superior Court as far as your appeal with the board of from the Board of Tax Assessors to the Board of Equalization.
Aside from experience, what separates you from your opponent? How much contrast can you offer to the citizens who watch this interview?
Well, quite a bit actually. Other than my experience in the office, I worked in the office for about 10 years, from May of 2001 till July of 2009. I've got lots of experience there. Also with the Board of Tax Assessors, I'm in my 6th year serving on the Board of Tax Assessors. But I believe what would set me aside would be I would stop charging the unnecessary fees that add to the tax commissioner's salary, and I would also stop excessive spending that's going on in the tax commissioner's office.
Are the cities of Ringgold and Fort Oglethorpe required by Georgia code to pay fees, commissions, or overall percentages for the collection of property taxes to the tax commission office? If so, where does that money specifically go?
They're not required to. No, it's an agreement between the tax office. They can collect their own taxes. They do have an agreement between the tax commissioner's office and the county to collect the taxes, and it's all inclusive in the county bill. When you receive a bill, if you're inside the city limits of Ringgold or Fort Oglethorpe, your tax bill will show the county millage rate, the school millage rate, and if you're inside the city, it'll also show the city on that same piece of paper. So there's no extra postage, no extra paper, just the bill that you get included with the county. As far as that goes, there are fees that are included in that go to the tax commissioner's salary that I will not charge. In 2019, the cities were charged $18,450. $9,225 of those dollars went to the tax commissioner's salary, check number 50808. In 2018, they were charged $18,636. $9,318 of those dollars went to the tax commissioner's salary, check number 49382. And in 2017, $18,336 was charged, and $9,168 was added to the tax commissioner's salary, check number 48338. Altogether, in 3 years, the cities were charged $55,422, and of that, $27,711 with the tax commissioner's salary, and I would cut that part out.
Who controls spending by the tax commissioner's office? Examples such as new vehicles, out-of-county training, or building modifications amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
The tax commissioner is a constitutional officer by the state, but there are parts of the office that are expensed through the county. So like they have to put in for a vehicle through the county, and the county would pay for the vehicle, such as that. So I believe it stays the same during the pandemic. I'm not sure about that part. But as far as expenses go, they have to be requested for through the county, paid for like that.
What have you done to prepare yourself to be a good leader and representative of the people?
I like to be very involved in the community. I support small business. I own a small business myself in Catoosa County. My children go to Catoosa County schools. I'm very vested in Catoosa County. I have, through my business, become involved with the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm fortunate enough to serve on their board. And I really thrive on supporting small business, keeping it local, trying to make all the spending that is possible to be done within the county. And I just love Catoosa County as far as that goes.
How many council or commission meetings did you attend before you decided to run for office, or within the last year?
Within the last year, I've probably attended 3 Ringgold City Commission meetings. There's been about 7 Fort Oglethorpe Commission meetings, and I believe I've gone to about 4 of the commission meetings for the county.
As tax commissioner, or in this case, in your position as an assessor, do you notice that people complain or even struggle to pay their property taxes? Given the way the world has changed and the actions that local and state government have taken, how does the current COVID crisis change the way you see yourself in this job?
Okay. Well, as far as the way, I'm not sure I understood the question fully.
It's kind of a 2-part question. So, in your position with the tax commissioner, and in your case as a board of assessor, part of the assessing team, do you notice that people complain or struggle to pay their property taxes?
I haven't seen that. Of course, we're not in the collection side, being in the assessor's office, so I won't see that. I have heard some people say that it is a struggle for them, and I completely understand that, and we do everything I can to help people in situations.
Given the way the world has changed and the actions that local and state government have taken in response to the pandemic, how does the current crisis change the way you see yourself doing this job?
The way it is currently, of course, with social distancing, having to close the offices by appointment only, you can come in. There are a lot of things that can be done through the mail, through the website. Online is great for social distancing. There's Dropbox that people can drop things off at. The state has helped out by extending some of the fees to where if your birthday is coming up right now while it's going on, those fees are extended to where you will not be penalized. So I applaud the state for doing that.
The last question. Will you pledge here on video that you will do everything that is possible to eliminate spending versus last year to mitigate the burden on taxpayers by finding ways to use less of their money?
Absolutely. There are so many things that the taxpayers' money is being spent on right now that I do not agree with. I went and did open records request. I did request for our previous tax commissioner that I worked for, and I looked at a 4-year term, and in that 4-year term, that tax commissioner that I worked for expensed to the county $7,250.83 in that 4 years. Our current tax commissioner in his first 3 years in office has expensed $31,412.53. And I've got record after record, and I will probably do some separate videos to show where that money has been going. I would cut all of that out. I don't agree with the excess spending and what's happening at the moment.
Okay, that's the last question. I'll give you 3 minutes to wrap up, and then we'll be done.
Awesome. Once again, I love Catoosa County. I've been here most of my life. I've been blessed to serve on several committees and boards and be involved in the community. I love supporting local business. I love keeping our money local. I do not agree with extra expense and extra taxes going, especially when the money is not being used properly. I would do everything in my power to make sure everything is done the way it should be done. And I just love this community. Anything that I could do for it, I would be more than happy to.
Thank you so much for joining us today for the interview and working across the table with us as we are practicing CDC guidelines.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate your time today. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for having me.